Holy smokes, look at these ugly charts. Boy, we got something to talk about tonight. What's up, you guys? Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro, and I just wanted to do a quick market update and talk about a few things and look at these charts and show you something that I see that is happening with all of my favorite projects. So we're going to start with Bitcoin and notice this trend that is happening and talk about how everybody has the same line of thinking that we are absolutely in the midst of a bullish movement and that the CME gap filling is a thing of the past. But lo and behold, the charts are telling us something completely different. Let's break it down and show you what I see and talk about it in the comments, as I want to know your opinion after you watch this video and look at this evidence. All right, let's get rid of that, and we're starting out with Bitcoin here on the 4-hour chart. So we got this this pitchfork formation that I added into the chart because I noticed that when I made this parallel trading channel right here, that there was some price movement along a center axis, which told me throw a pitchfork on here and just see what happens. So I did. So then what I noticed is we got price confluence all throughout. So here's our center line activity. Then we jump over here to the secondary lower line. We jump back up to the center line. Then we pop up to the primary upper line. And then we almost make it to the secondary upper line, jump right back down. And where do we gravitate to? Back to the center line. Okay, so you would think that because of the position of this 4-hour bar stochastic that we're going to move back up. And so the other day on TradingView, I put up a post and I said that I'm looking at a short-term target of 11,200 or maybe 11,000, but it could be worse than that. And here's why. Pop over to the 1-day chart and look where the stochastic is. Isn't that interesting? On the 1-day chart, we have just rounded out the top of this stochastic cycle. And what we're going to want to pay attention to, like I always say, what is going to be the price? Like right now we had our peak right here. But what's going to be the price? Let's say the stochastic comes on down and we get a full cycle. What is going to be the price of Bitcoin that corresponds with this stochastic dip? If we stay within the limits of this pitchfork, we'd be breaking 12,000, which would be pretty nice. But I'm going to tell you what, if we violate the lower boundary of this pitchfork, we're in for a correction that ain't going to be pretty. And this is where I see the possibility that if we fart around here and then all of a sudden we drop out of the bottom part of that, we're going to be heading to 10,000, and that momentum could carry us back down here past the CME gap and further, because we see a volume profile cluster right around, say, 9250, where we know in the past that when the price line moves around, it tends to jump and stick to where the most popular prices are as far as trading volume. And who's doing that trading volume? It's the institutional investors, or the whales, the big insiders, or the exchanges moving coin back and forth. It's not the regular everyday people. We don't make volume clusters as big as that. All right, so get rid of that again, and let's clear this out, and then let's zoom back in here. So as we zoom in, we're going to see that our lower limit here on the 1-day chart around 11,000. If we break that, we can pop here, we can pop here, or we can come all the way down to 93. And then notice there's even another cluster here at 91. It can happen. All right, so let's jump back to the 4-hour, blow this back up a little bit, and have a look at some of my favorite altcoins, just so we can see what we notice. And maybe you'll see a trend. Now, before I do that, let's look at the dollar. Here's the US dollar, where we're in a dive, but now we have a stochastic crossover. Fast line just overtook the slow line. Where is the US dollar going to go from here? If the USD picks up momentum and moves up again, let me get an arrow here. If we move up here, then we're probably going to break that barrier and fall out of that pitchfork formation. If we make it up here to 94, or maybe head back up here to this previous high point at 94.50, if we make it back to this line, we're going to have one heck of a correction on our hands. Now, if this stochastic crossover loses its steam and the dollar continues to go down, we're probably going to be shooting up to 12,000. All right, so let's get rid of that and jump on down to the alt. So here is XRP. So I was going to go shopping tonight because I based most of my buying decisions on where the 4-hour stochastic is. So I was thinking, this might be a point to get a little bit more XRP because we did break out of the descending parallel trading channel that we've been stuck in for months on end. And now we finally break through it. But let's pop to the 1-day chart and notice where the stochastic is. Well, there it is right there. Look at this. We've made the hump. Fast line is crossed over to the slow line and it's pointed downward. Now, it could make another hump up, but for right now, this is bearish. All right, so let's just move it right along. Litecoin. There it is. It looks like it's at a nice bottom point on the 4-hour. But when you look at the 1-day chart, is it going to be the same? Now, in 4 hours, we could have a nice movement up. But when you look at the 1 day, where we are on the 1-day stochastic cycle, this does not look good. Fast line crossed over the slow line. We've busted a hump there. We're about to head back down below that 80% line. So I'm going to bet you that there's a chance that when we hit that 4-hour peak, we're not going to go above this level that we're at right now. All right, so that's Litecoin, not looking so good. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is bottoming out on the 4-hour stochastic. But notice one thing. The previous stochastic peak right here, which took us up to 395, somewhere around there. We're headed on this nice down trending channel, about to approach this big fib circle boundary line right here. I'll be interested to see what happens there. So we could crawl back up, but what's the height that it's going to be? Are we going to break down at this light blue line, or are we going to fight up this line till we get to the big dark green? And I think that's the 3.618 on the dark green. Well, what's the 1 day looking like? Not good. Over the hump, jumping back down below the 80% line, definite bearish looking trajectory. All right, well, let's just move along and look at the next one, Band. Bands will make her dance. Okay, so Band is bottomed out. Now I was thinking, let me jump on this $6.36 because I'm dollar cost averaged right now at $7 on my Band position. But should I get that now, knowing that the 1 day stochastic is also pointed downward? We didn't even make it outside of the neutral territory up into overbought territory before we hit on this steep downward trajectory. So I seriously doubt at the end of that 4-hour cycle that we're going to break above this previous high point at 758. Well, let's just keep it moving. Maybe it's just those few. Polkadot. Polkadot is sitting at $4.13. Stochastic is bottom. It's about to head on the up cycle on the 4-hour chart. But where is it at on the 1 day? Well, we've rounded off. We never made it to the overbought territory. Price momentum is heading downward. Stochastic is heading downward. On balance volume is headed downward. So do you think it'd be a good idea to buy tonight? Nope, I'm not taking a chance. I could be wrong about all of this, and none of this was financial advice. It's just entertainment. I'm just showing you what I see. You can tell me how I'm wrong, because I'd love to learn if I'm wrong. On to Uniswap. Uniswap is at $3.09. Stochastic is on a recovery, about to cross back into the neutral territory from the oversold zone. So I was going to pick up some of it at a nice low price of $3.09. But let's look at the 1 day. What's going to happen by morning or by tomorrow night? Well, we finally have enough data on here that we can get something out of the 1 day. And we have a fast line crossing over the slow line and a trajectory looking like it's going down. Well, maybe that's just Uniswap. Let's look at Link. Chainlink, the big boy, Crossover again. Fast line is about to cross the slow line. Stochastic is buried right at the 20% line, not quite heading into the oversold zone. So I was thinking maybe I pick up a few chain links right here. But let's look at the 1 day. Notice how it's doing the same thing as everything else. We got the hump. Fast line is crossed over the slow line, headed in a downward trajectory. Very, very interesting. Let's look at DNT. This is one of my favorites here. I love District 0x. Pretty cool project. Nice little price of 0.008. I bought in at 0.0077, so I was going to pick up some more. Stochastic bottomed out on the 4 hour, but where's it at on the 1 day? Not looking good. At least it's already peaked and it's headed downward. So maybe there's not such a low point coming up for DNT as what we see with everything else, because it's already looking like it's closer to getting to the bottom point of a cycle. All right, let's just keep it moving. Key, Self-Key is a great project that I'm really excited about. Bottomed out here, nice low price, less than my entry point. But looking at the 1 day, we've got a hump. We didn't even make it past the 50% point, and we have a downward trajectory. All right, let's see. I'm going to skip through some of my favorites. Tron, which was looking really, really bullish. Where are we at? Close to the point where the fast line is going to overtake the slow line and head up on the 4 hour. But let's pop over to the 1 day. We got a hump, and fast line is crossed over the slow line, and it is about to point down on a downward trajectory. I better not touch that yet. Not time to load up on Tron. On and on and on. Let's look at Cardano. Okay, Cardano sitting at 10.6 cents. It's still going downward on the 4 hour, which says that we haven't bottomed out just yet. But what is it looking like on the 1 day? Same thing as everything else. We've got a hump. Fast line crossing over the slow line, pointing in the downward direction. I could go on and on and on and show you all of the rest of these projects, all of my favorite coins and whatever else you want to see. It's all the same. It's all the same. So instead of going shopping tonight, my gut instinct says don't do anything. Wait it out. So maybe I'll be kicking myself. Maybe we rocket to the moon and I miss these low points. But you know, one thing is for sure. When everybody thinks that we're in the clear and all of the big mouths on YouTube, the big hotshot prognosticators are saying that we're about to, Bitcoin is going to the moon tonight at this specific time, at this specific target. Whenever everybody is on that same page, we get wrecked. Now, notice that nobody's talking about the CME gap. Everyone is pretty much at a consensus where we're thinking this is the first time we're not going to fill that gap. I say red flag, warning sign. Whenever we get that confident or whenever we get completely bearish, what does Bitcoin do? The exact opposite. Why does it do that? Because it's the institutional investors that are playing us dummies who don't have the power to move the market. So anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to share this market update overall and see what you think. Post your comments below and tell me what you think. Are we going to hit the CME gap? Are we going to rocket to 12,000? What do you think the probability is? I'm going 60-40 bearish from this point, which I think it'll just be a short period of time. It could be a deep correction that lasts for a few days or a week. But I think once we cross into November territory, it's time to move up. So I'm going to wait it out for a few days to see before I go shopping. And then we'll hope that it's just a temporary correction and the overall market movement is upward. I truly believe that. All right. Well, like and subscribe if you have not already. It's so good to see everybody chopping it up with me in the comments. Come and let me know what you think. Thank you to all of my subscribers. And I got a project that I'm working on. I'm going to be doing an NFT giveaway. I'm going to make a set of collector cards, Crypto Pro collector cards, and I'm going to give to you. And there's a way that we can make money from it. But I'll clue you in on that at a later date, not right now, because I've got to go to bed so I can get up bright and early and hit the next day. Hit the ground running. So that's about all I've got. This is Carlton Flowers, your Crypto Pro. We'll catch you tomorrow.